Hey everyone, Tim here. Just doing another video regarding the job action trailers we got. Just doing a breakdown of each of the roles that we have for each of the jobs in the game. We've already done one on casters, so we're gonna do the next job on this, or the next role, which is gonna be the healers. So just gonna go ahead and just preface that. I apologize in advance. This video is gonna be not very well edited, and it's gonna be kind of just me talking over the video as it plays while we look at just some of the information on it. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and start with the Scholar. Now, Scholar used to be one of the healers I used to play quite a bit, and I'm very disappointed in the Scholar with what they did in Endwalker. This is kind of the job I wanted to see quite a bit of changes on, and it looks like we didn't get very much of anything. So I feel like Scholars, they don't know what to do with this job. But just kind of breaking down some of the things that they had. They obviously got a new spell animation for their normal attacks. Looks like was it Broil 4. They do get a movement speed here that they talked about as well, but I don't, other than that, that's literally all they got. I think they did say they did get another ability where they do put a bigger like self heal, or maybe like even like an empowered ability onto the tank here. I can't even think of the word that I'm looking for right now, but another ability that does put something on the tank there. But other than that, then the movement speed and then the couple animation updates, that's all they did. And to me, I feel like Scholars, this expansion kind of got the short stick for sure. There was no changes made to the fairies from what it looks like. There was no changes made to the fairy gauge, and those are huge implications. I think that's the biggest thing for the class, or the job in particular, and the fact that nothing was really changed regarding those two aspects alone. To me, like I said, it doesn't seem like they know what they're doing with the Scholar at this point. So I would highly expect probably a rework in the next expansion, because I mean, adding this movement ability thing is, to me, just I don't really see a lot of instances where that's going to work, because I mean, people are just going to automatically will prefer to use sprint instead. So yeah, I don't really have too much more to say. All I can say is I'm very disappointed in what they did with Scholar, and I really hope that we can get some changes down the road, maybe in the next expansion. Again, everything here is subject to change, like in the previous video, so we could see something completely different in the next 2 months. But right now, it's not looking too pretty for the Scholars here. So looking at the next healer on this list, it is going to be the Astrologian. Now, this one is obviously going to have a little bit more changes because it is switching more to a pure healer type role. But I do like, there's some things here that are some interesting aspects here. It does look like, looking at the gauge here, they are adding a little bit of the card system kind of back from Stormblood. It looks like now you can draw your normal cards, but then you also have another draw where you draw your Lord of Crowns or Lady of Crowns card. And it looks like the Lord and Lady of Crowns actually does like AoE thing. Like when this person uses the Lady of Crowns, it has like an AoE like effect. So I wonder if that does something different now. So I'm looking forward to see what that kind of does. Then they got some new spell animations. They did get a new gravity here. This Starstorm like ability looks fantastic. They mentioned it was a damage plus a heal. So that is really cool. And then you see some Nocturnal Sect there at the end. So overall, I do like kind of this direction here. They did also mention that Divination is kind of like on its own. It sounds like it's just gonna be just a regular buff that you just cast, and just don't have to worry about getting like the 3 different cards. I think you consume your cards to do different things. Like for example, maybe you consume it and you get this better gravity, or you consume it and you get this Starstorm like effect. So I think that's kind of more where that's going to come into play instead now. And then again, they still have neutral sect, they did mention, and they also still have this nocturnal shielding ability. So I do really like where we're going with the Astrologian. I like I said, like this is kind of like the healer of choice for me right now. In the current iteration of the game, Sage will probably be the one that I will main next expansion, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I really do like the new abilities, the new spells, the new animations. I think that they did quite a bit of good work with the Astrologian changes here. Again, we don't know specifics on things, but from just the video itself, it does look like they did quite a good job here. So looking at the next healer here, the next one is going to be the White Mage. Now, White Mage is kind of the basic healer in my opinion. It doesn't really have our offer too much here. A lot of the changes, they didn't do a lot of changes here. It does look like they did mention Divine Benison is going to get 2 charges now, so that's kind of nice. With all the healers, they all got new auto or their new main spell ability, their new main attack damage ability to get changed to be looking a little bit different. And then they also have it where it's like a 1.5-second cast, so they don't have to worry about like ever like missing heals and whatnot. Also, they did put this like plant-like thing in the side there that looks like it when either when hit or when triggered, it pulsates a heal. So that's kind of cool. That almost looks like maybe like an improved. I think it's Asylum is what their current bubble is. So maybe this is like an improved Asylum where it doesn't normally like bubble now, but it's like it just either you trigger it or it triggers from an attack. It pulsate a heal, and I think that's actually really cool. That kind of goes into the fantasy of the the white mages kind of being a little bit more on the earthly side of things, where they use like the healing from around them. So that's kind of cool. I really like that. They got a new holy spell animation as well, and it does look like they still kept a lot of the same things. So overall, I think this is going to be the more approachable healer of choice. I don't really see too many changes here that's out of reach. It looks pretty straightforward to me. Yeah, I think this is their, if you're looking for like to approach the healer to approach the healing role, this is the first one that most new players would likely gravitate to, and that's kind of where that's kind of what I like them to do. Make it so that this job is the easiest one to obtain, and then if you want to divvy it from there, you can kind of go from there. All right, so now let's go ahead and shift over and talk about the Sage, which is likely going to be my job choice. If I can find it, here it is. Yeah, this is likely what I'm going to be maining in the next expansion, just because something new. I'm more of a caster main, but I do kind of want to try something different, and this one looks like a ton of fun. So I'm not going to even try to explain these spells here, but from what this job really kind of incorporates, if anybody's played World of Warcraft, a Disc Priest. Like this really looks like a Disc Priest to me in that manner. Basically, they can selectively target somebody to apply some kind of buff onto them, and then any attacks that they do also heals the target that they have this buff to. Now, I'm assuming, from what it looked like in the gameplay, you could actually, in the live letter gameplay that is, you could switch that buff around to wherever you needed to, and it didn't have like a cooldown, so that's kind of nice. But it looks like this is going to be what I was like thinking it was going to be, like a greedy DPS for the healer role. I don't remember if they said they had any party buffs as well. So, but this one definitely, like, you get your little charges that you build up over time. You can then augment your abilities that do certain things. Like one of them was an augment, like you do a normal heal, but then you can augment that to do a shield instead. Or you can augment your attack to do a damage over time effect as well. This one definitely looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. It looks like it's definitely going to be the hardest healer to play, like kind of master in a sense. But overall, I think the aesthetics of this, the way that the job plays, does have like this really like high risk, high reward gameplay. But it does seem to me like this is basically like a Disc Priest from World of Warcraft. So again, there's not too much for me to say on this one because we don't have like specifics like on how things are going to work, and I don't have any like frame of reference. So, but just again, looking at this here, I do think that the way that they designed this particular job does make it where it is going to be high risk, high reward, and I do think there's going to be quite a bit of good things about this job. So, yeah, that's kind of my take on the healers. Again, sorry for the rambling. Especially for the Sage there, because again, there's not much I really do know for the Sage, or for any of the other anything here. Everything's again subject to change, so it could very well likely be that everything I say here today is going to be changed. So, but again, we are going to go through each of the roles here. So if you do like this video, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed, if you want to catch the other videos, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think about the healers? Did you like the direction they went with other one? Maybe you thought the Scholar direction was fine compared to how I didn't like it. So, let me know what you all think below. We'll do the other roles afterwards. And if you haven't seen the Mage one, that is also on my channel as well. But until the next video, I will see everybody then. Take care.